This is the story of how I became the worm woman of Anderson Valley. Growing up in the 70s was a great time to be a kid. I had lots of hobbies. Two of them were paint by numbers and refinishing furniture. Who would know that this would lead to my first real gig, faux painting. I've color washed 1,000 walls. Venetian plaster, simulated wood grain, I've done it all. One day I was fauxing a bathroom, and I got a call from a friend who said, "What are you doing?" I was fauxing. "I'm working at Dollywood on a construction site. We're putting in a roller coaster." On a lark, I said, "Ask the project manager if he needs a painter." I got a call the next day, so I went to the site, and this led to this gig. I spent the next several years traveling, mostly amusement parks, but not always, doing faux painting basically on a much larger scale. Theme painting for amusement parks. It was interesting, it was fun, the team was fun, I met a lot of new people. But life on the road has its ups and downs. I didn't like being away from home for weeks or months at a time. And construction sites are dangerous. The sun is relentless. It's a hard job. I decided to come off the road. While I was doing faux, I split my time. I also worked for a concert promoter, and I did some event production on my own. The production and promotion part was fun, but what intrigued me were the vendors. My favorite part of the gig was going to the vendors and collecting the promoter percentage from them at the end of the show. I was fascinated with their setups, their menus, and I fantasized about having my own. When it became clear that I was done with the heat and the climbing, I came off the road and I took a job in retail. And I bought this fixer-upper. I hated working in retail. I guess I had the best job you could have if you had to be there. I got to make signs and set up scenes, but I truly hated it. But I kept grinding away, and before I knew it, I had my own rig. And thanks to about 1,000 episodes of diners, drive-ins, and dives, I had a menu. So I booked a season of events and took to the road for the next chapter. It never stopped. It rained the end of the summer, it rained the entire fall, the entire winter, and my capital to run this thing went down the drain. I got a call from a friend, and she said, "I know this is a long shot, but is there any chance you would move out to California and help me with a project?" Next thing you know it, I'm somebody who goes wine tasting and has a walk around the reservoir. My friend's project fell through, but I decided to stay in California for a while. And I met someone who was kind enough to allow me to park a small RV in her orchard. Living in this orchard, I've learned to garden. Not just sort of garden, I garden, capital letters. And as I got deeper into gardening, bringing in goldfish led to science, because I had to learn how to keep them alive. So learning about the science of water led me to learn about the science of soil. And as I got into making my own compost and learning about soil science, I recognized the importance of these guys. I combined the fallen apples from the orchard, the compost I was making, and some silt from the river, and I started making worm casting. And as I dialed in my process, I've created what I think is one of the best products available for garden amendment. I'm very proud of it. And in the long run, I've enjoyed it here. I've made great friends, thoroughly enjoyed being with the animals, but this is not home. I'll take the knowledge that I've learned here, and eventually I'll go back to Tennessee. And that food trailer is going to come back into play, and everything's going to come full circle. Farm to table. Maybe you can take a little bag of castings with you when you go. So that's how I became the worm woman of Anderson Valley. And while I'm sorting out the final chapter, I'm here, making castings, making friends, making videos, and doing my best to live my life to the fullest. This is the worm woman of Anderson Valley, signing off.